Krampus wasn't such a bad guy way back when. Most of us are now familiar with the character of Krampus, Santa's enforcer. Half man, half goat, male goat at that, since he's got those two big curvy horns, and he carries a bundle of birch switches with which to beat the naughty children. Sometimes he's got a leather whip instead. Sometimes he has an iron chain to beat them with. He rarely has all three. After all, he's only got two hands. Sometimes he's got a sack over his shoulder, into which goes the particularly naughty, particularly unsalvageable children. These he drowns, eats, or sends straight to hell. Krampus is a common companion of St. Nick in Germany, Austria, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Slovenia, South Tyrol, and parts of northern Italy, although he has become popular in much of the rest of Europe. Now me, being essentially a pagan, a Hindu pagan, I get suspicious when I see a Christian tradition that looks like it has pagan underpinnings, but has a sort of nastiness put to it. After all, I demonstrated last January that the image we have of Santa Claus is not based on the presumably historical St. Nicholas, but is directly swiped from the old Nordo-Germanic god Odin. You'll have to go watch or read my dissertation, Santa is the King of the Gods, for details on that. So whose turn was it in the Christian barrel this time? Well, there are many depictions of a horned pagan god, a god of nature. The god has many names, but the main one is the god Pan, a form of Bacchus Dionysus, the Greco-Roman god of wine and bread. Pan was the form of Bacchus that ruled over the fertility of nature and was one with the natural world. The Celtic equivalent was probably Cernunnos, who ruled over nature and was also depicted as a man with horns, usually deer antlers, but still a horned god. The Egyptians also worshipped a horned god at the city of Mendes. Mendes was the Greek name for the city. The Egyptian name for the god was Benebjed, which meant the soul of Osiris. Osiris was considered by all the ancient world to be essentially the same god as Bacchus. Benebjed was also known as the goat of Mendes, who later Christians associated with Satan. But then the Christians say that everybody else's depictions of God and the gods are manifestations of the devil. So when you go to or watch on TV one of the many Krampus festivals in Europe, or one of a dozen or so in the US of A, or watch one of the 2 or 3 movies that Krampus stars in, remember that he didn't start out as a bad guy. It was the Christians that put a cramp on Krampus style. You may read the text of this on my blog at Baidin.com. That's BHAIDIN.com.